seen a card for last year, I don't think.
No. Yeah, I mean, Wakey were in a horrific state, weren't they, with the team that they actually had out. You know, having to play Jay Pitts in your centre.
Yeah, it was a bad start for them, like before they got going, and then as Ben mentioned, didn't he, saying about Jacob Miller getting hurt. I mean, he got his head all in the wrong position on Fuzzatua. Fuzzatua for his late hit, by the way. I got a grade A late hit, so no match penalty notice. I think it was one that was a bit more front on than round the back, so there was flexion, but slightly less. I don't know, but anyway, that's where they went with that one that someone mentioned. I had noted down to talk about Max Jowett a bit from both sides of things, actually good and bad, because the try he scored I thought was really nice. It was scored just after they went back to 13 aside in the dying seconds of the game. I mean, Wakey can do some good stuff late in games. It's more than the first time that they've left their scoring too late this year. They did it against Catalans as well, didn't they, in the other televised game for Trin. So, yeah, they've got that down to a T, scoring too late. But it was a nice try that he scored. But he's got a grade C charge, a 2-match penalty notice. And when I've read the charge sheet, Sarah, this is for... Do you remember the Harry Newman try where I don't think anyone really picked up on it too much during the game, but I think the Sky talked about it maybe after the game. He'd got up a bit groggy, hadn't he? And when you watch it back, Jowett was really reckless with his knees coming in late on that tackle.
Was it?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
huge. It's a deserved one for me, that one.
Yeah, but that's what Reece Lynn got his for, and actually Savelia for us as well. You know, that's it. Yeah, I wonder if it's sort of creeping in a bit. This, you know, going in with the knees per scoring.
Yeah, and they're
Or
showing
whether they-
consistency on the match review panel for it, aren't they? It's just obviously it's probably one of them things refs need to get a bit of a grip on.
Yeah, or you know, your touch judges.
Yeah, the thing is, I
mean,
suppose
obviously,
sometimes.
I wouldn't have had in girl judges, but you'd think that that's the sort of thing that they should be responsible for.
Yeah,
non-televised.
You'd think it'd be a card offence as well, wouldn't you? So there's time for the video referee to talk down whilst the kick's getting lined up to say. But then again, I suppose there's also a shout for could it have been a penalty try rather than a sin binning in? Not a penalty try, a try with a penalty, so an 8-point chance for an 8-point try. But it did look exactly as they've described it on the charge sheet. So Jowett's just put Wakefield in more bother there because Miller won't be able to play in the next game because of the 10-day concussion protocol period. So it's just weakening their spine again.
Yeah.
And they don't have much depth anymore in those positions. You know, gone are the likes of Alex Walker and Ryan Hampshire, who provided that depth last year. So it does seem really patched up for Wakey, unfortunately, for them. The other news story to cover out of this one, I suppose, was Cam Smith as well. He got a grade B dangerous contact 1-match penalty notice. I've got to be honest, I can't remember the incident specifically. I wish they'd put names of players that it was on back into the write-ups, because then it helps you remember easier, doesn't it? I think the only last thing to talk about maybe is Ash Hanley. What do you reckon?
Yeah. Very, very good stats there, as you said. Best of blah, blah, blah.
And there was a bit of variety as well, wasn't there? I mean, they weren't. Obviously, the first one he picked up an error, but he fought off the challenges coming back and managed to score. Second one, cut back on the inside, showed really good speed. And the third one, I'm not sure how he finished the third one, if I'm completely honest. So it was a forward pass to him when he went in, but that's not his fault. But the finish was outstanding.
Yeah, he did what he had to do legally.
Yeah. That's the way, isn't it, to react to not being in the England squad? We weren't talking about him last week.
No. But he was obviously a little bit cross, so decided to go out and put that performance in. Which, yeah, exactly as you should do.
Credit to him for that. Right, let's move on to Friday night's game. First game, Hull KR versus St Helens. It was 24-4 to Saints at half-time. Almost all over. 42-8 at full-time. it was a spanking for the Robins, unfortunately for them. 7,256 were there to see it. James Child was the referee. In terms of the team stats, it was back to strangling the meters out of the opposition for Saints, because KR only made 754 meters at 5.3 meters per carry average game. Yeah, would have been. At some point this year, they're probably going to keep someone to under 500. Saints made 626.
That'll be us when we play them again.
Well, hopefully not. Luke Gale might be a bit more sensible with what he does with his studs. Saints were 626 metres and 2.1 metres per carry better in those areas, despite giving up on the stats, on the Super League stats. 10-5 penalty count. Hull KR fell under 90% team tackle success rate, so along with under 1,000 metres, it's a double. That basically always means defeat. If you can't tackle and you can't make ground, you lose games. The game saw the most breaks of any so far this year at that point, and it was shared out 11-4 in favour of St Helens.
Yeah, that's that's the most breaks of any game. However, it's not like it's 50-50 or anywhere close.
No. No.
In terms of individuals, Tommy Makinson with 3 tries, 166 metres, 2 clean breaks and 3 offloads. Will Hopewati with 157 metres, Alex Walmsley with 1 try and 148 metres, Sione Matautia with 2 tries, 1 try assist, 8 tackle busts, 102 metres and 2 clean breaks. And for the losing Rovers, it was Ryan Hall with 1 try and 122 metres and 3 clean breaks. Sean Kenny Dowell with 1 try assist and 113 metres. Matt Parcell made 43 tackles, of which 14 were marker tackles. And Frankie Halton with 1 try, 44 tackles and 5 clean breaks.
Yeah, Frankie Halton was the maybe one shining light from Hull KR in this one, I think. So well done to him and his try. At Mike Webb 58 said, "Too big, too fast and too good. Frighteningly efficient, and we all want to dance with Sione." I'm going to come back to that because I like that. It's funny.
Yeah. Always in our shadow said, "KR discovering Super League is a lot harder when you can't decide you want to avoid playing the big boys. They must be longing for the days they could play Lee 3 times. Tacklelangi must be wishing he could whip down the wrong side of the A63 to get away from it all. He should end up with almost as many points as KR achieve. Hashtag since 1985.
Good gags finish. Strong gag game. Tom Andrews said, "Don't know if Mark keeps track, and I wasn't counting, but I'm sure Saints just broke the world record for 6 agains. Must have been at least 526 without me counting too closely. Saints too good for a team with a handful of players only putting in half an effort. On a positive, what a baller Frankie Halton looks." I don't track the 6 again stats, Sarah, but on the Super League website, when the 6 again came in last year, they said they counted them as errors, and the error count was 7-7 in this game, which didn't make sense because that would mean Hull KR didn't drop a single ball, because the 6 again count was 3-7 according to League Express, who do get their reporters to count these things. So Saints were awarded 7 6 agains, but the penalty count was 8-4 in favour of Rovers according to the League Express. So either way, you'd have thought that would have balanced itself out, but it certainly didn't in terms of who scored the points and who made the ground.
Yeah. I've heard great things from people about Frankie Halton. But that, I think, is the only positive I've heard about the match. One of Joshua's...
Go on, sorry.
No, I was just going to say one of Joshua's teammates, his older brother, has been signed up by Rovers Academy, and he came down towards the back end of the match and was just saying, basically, Rovers didn't even turn up on Friday night. He said they were that bad.
Yeah, and one person who turned up but maybe shouldn't have done was Lachlan Coote, wasn't it? I mean, it was clearly a doubt if Dagger was put on the bench, and it proved that they probably, whether or not Smith should have picked him. With Coote not making it through the game, and then Will Dagger, it seemed, had a bit of a mare as well, and certainly Makinson's 3rd try. That was bad. Holton.
Yeah, sorry, carry on.
I was going to say Holton stepped up from the Championship really well. I mean, I didn't know what to expect from him, and I questioned some of the recruitment choices at Hull KR because outside of Lachlan Coote, they basically signed Championship forwards. But
Yeah.
Holton has been, a gem, and if you sign 3 Championship forwards and one of them is your best player through the first 4 weeks. I mean, the Super League stats have him not missing a tackle yet. Hull KR's own stats have him missing 1 tackle. But in 4 games, he's put in over 150 tackles and he's only missed 1 according to Hull KR's own stats. That's pretty impressive, I would say.
Yeah, that is impressive. Stepping up a level and having that as your stats.
Definitely. You were going to say?
Yeah, I was just going to reference something that Tony Smith had said. I think it was after this match, talking, and it just reminded me with you saying about the 6 agains. He said that he doesn't like the 6 again rule because he feels that some teams are using it as first tackle. People are happy to give up a 6 again because in effect all you're doing is adding an extra tackle onto your tackle count, but it gives you chance for your defensive line to get set. And I must admit, I felt that there was certainly a case for that on Sunday in our game. And I do think that I wonder if teams are sort of playing with that because they think, well, I don't mind conceding an extra tackle, have a 7 tackle set rather than a 6 tackle set, rather than if it was a proper penalty.
It's been a theme, hasn't it? I think some of the NRL coaches who've come over as well, they had a bit more exposure to it. So, like your guy, I thought he came over with that kind of attitude to it from having had half a season in the NRL, being an assistant coach, seeing it in operation. Yeah, and Tony Smith's a shrewd coach. He'll be using it to his advantage too. Even if he doesn't like it, he'll be using it. What I would say is it's down to 2 groups of people. One, the referees still have it within their power to give away a penalty. They should start, if they think it's been deliberate on the first tackle, early tackles in a set, they should start giving a penalty and teams might stop.
Yeah.
And coaches, if they want to have a better game product to watch so that they can earn more money because more people tune in and more people pay more sponsorship money and broadcasting money and all that sort of stuff, don't fucking let your players do it.
Yeah, stop cheating.
Yeah. Stop exploiting the laws of the game. But they're not going to, are they? Because they put winning above anything else, unfortunately, sometimes. And, we've all seen that at our clubs. Wayne did that after the first couple of years at Wigan. And I've got to say, we won some trophies, but by the end of that time, but then if he does it for England in a World Cup and we win a World Cup, I'll be happy with it. Just if he did it then for 5-10 years afterwards, I probably would get a bit fed up with it.
Yeah, no, I just thought it was something worth, the comment was worth drawing attention to because it is something that I have found that I've noticed recently as well.
Yeah, fair shout. The other thing I thought deserved bringing some attention to was the I want to dance with Sione. I'm not sure if it's just something Saints using a tweet and it was funny, or if it's a chant that they're actually singing. If it is a chant that they're singing at St Helens, huge credit to that St Helens fan base for coming up with the most creative chant of the year.
Yeah, maybe David could give us a little rendition next time he's on.
I will bank on it not happening. We'll try. What else have I got noted on this? Conrad Hurrell, grade A late hit, 1 match penalty notice, and absolutely the right call. Ridiculously late from him on Jordan Abdul. So it's his second grade A late hit of the season.
Yeah. Already.
So you got to take the rough with the smooth if you're gonna be on the Hurrell train, guys. From talking about the actual rugby, Matautia, great form, looked really good on the highlights again. I guess he's leading the Man of Steel still after this week. He'll get 2 or 3 points, I'm sure, from this game. But Welsby and Makinson might get some points as well. Welsby's pass for Makinson's first try was probably the nicest score that St Helens mustered. But some of the rest were really soft. I mean, both of Dodd's tries, were they trying to stop him? Matautia's second try, it was like they almost made a path for